We lost.
We live.
Yeah.
Jerry, you got a Rockets beanie on, Jerry. Where'd you get a Rockets beanie from?
Having this mug for a minute. Somebody got me this for Christmas. And I was
I
like,
mean, at least it's the good logo and not like the new
that's
one.
exactly
Like,
why.
I don't really want anything with like the newer logo on it. It's just
The,
not a thing.
the only reason I wear it is because of the old logo. Like
The
when y'all
old
actually was,
logo, the old logo, that Rockets logo is like a top five logo. Like the NBA like logo. That's a top five logo right there.
not sure why y'all keep going further and further away.
It seems so simple. It's like all the other teams, like the Celtics, the Knicks, the Lakers that like been around. It's like
Same,
yeah,
same
the
logo
Sun,
basically.
even the Suns, like even the Heat. It's like yeah, we're just gonna keep this. We don't really need to keep changing. Like why would we keep changing? Spurs, the Mavs have changed a few times for the worse. They've kind of gotten worse
For
and
the
worse.
worst.
Yeah, they've gotten worse and worse. Pistons left and they came back. Pistons left and they came back to the older like, cause like yeah, like what are y'all doing? Like what's the Pacers been pretty solid for the most part.
Yeah, they've
They
been basically the same.
they should go back to like the '90s jerseys, but whatever.
A lot of teams should.
They had good '90s jerseys. Not everybody had good '90s jerseys, but the Pacers had good '90s jerseys. But yeah, little back on a little Rockets talk. I haven't seen too much of Jabari since the last time we saw him. He hasn't even played.
He only played one game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he only played one game.
he looked good.
He
He
did.
looked
He
great.
dropped 21.
Yeah, he was hitting threes, was everything. I mean, Rockets Twitter was Jabari can't dribble. Look at him, dribble two times and shoot. It was out of control.
But I expected him to be
I think
more
he
of
even
a
dribbled, I think he even dribbled three times a few times. Like three, he dribbled three times into a shot. I was like, that's impressive.
I
You know,
expect him to get his off of other guys for the most part this season.
yeah, he's gonna get a lot of his stuff just like in the flow of the game. Cause even like a guy like AD is like a two or three dribble guy maximum. He's not
Yeah.
like can do it.
And
About two or three dribbles, he's either gonna pull up or he's gonna like maybe go into a post up. Then he might dribble more, but then he's gonna pass. He's not like between the legs about to give you a lot of moves. He's two, three
nah.
dribbles max, and he's gonna shoot it. Yeah, no, he was balling. It was nice to see. He stretched the floor for Shingun, which is needed because Shingun can't consistently shoot threes yet.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a big thing on offense too, just how Shingun is used, and that's like the last game. I'm not sure if much you saw, but to me, watching them play, that obviously Jalen and Scoot they had pretty good scoring nights, but the biggest problem to me is just how are you going to figure out how to use Shingun if he's your starting center because defensively he's below average as you can
Yes.
see. I mean
Very much
that's a
so.
main reason why he probably didn't get minutes last year. I know people complain, but he's not a good defender. And in the NBA, when teams just pick and roll you to death, and you got a guy like that out there, it can get ugly real quick.
Yeah, his problem last season was foul trouble. Oh my
And
god.
a lot of some good defenders foul a lot, but a lot of players who necessarily aren't good defenders foul a lot because yeah, you're out of
Yeah,
position.
he
Like
was
you're out of
fouling.
position. Like you're always out of position or trying to do too much. Like just like
Yeah, he was
being
losing
where
minutes because of fouls. Yeah, that's not good.
it's not. I don't think. I think sometimes people fall too deep in the idea of like stuff being players not having the ability to play defense. And I'm always go back to how is Mark Gasol a good defender? Mark Gasol is non-athletic. I don't even know how many times see Mark Gasol dunk, but he was a great defender, just knowing where
IQ
to be, being in the right places,
and
obviously
trying.
doing studying, but he was always in the right place. Not
Yeah,
an athletic guy, not a quick guy or a fast guy, not a like athletic jumping at none of that, but he was always in the right place.
but I
And
will say a key to that though is the guys around him were good defenders too.
but I mean, Zach Randolph really wasn't a good defender.
I mean, that's one guy, but
Zach Randolph could get away and he could make do, but he wasn't no good defender
no,
like
but
that.
on the perimeter they had some perimeter guys. and also in
I think that
Toronto too.
him just being so good, the ability to drop on the pick and roll and just be in the right place. Like he just knew where to be. I think obviously being a good defender takes athleticism and things like that. But there's a lot of good defenders who aren't the most athletic guys. They move their feet well and know where to be. I think and actually like fight on defense, you know.
You gotta
A lot of
try.
players don't like they're not really fighting that hard on defense. They'll pretend to fight on defense, like they gave an effort, and then just kind of, I mean, I tried. I'm gonna die on this screen. Like I'm not gonna like jump out on the three, things of that nature. And I
Rush.
feel that's the most quite a few players in that team.
Yes.
But I think that's the biggest thing on defense. But just not seeing him involved on offense. I mean, Jalen and KPJ had good nights. I didn't necessarily like the ball movement. It wasn't a lot of ball movement. It was a lot of pulling up in threes, a lot of dribbling and things of that nature. But it wasn't really good ball movement to me. And I think Shingun is the best decision maker on the team. And I just think him being in the middle, like elbow, and with Jalen, with EG, and now with Jabari, like around giving spacing, I feel like that can really maximize
Yeah,
whatever
that'll
offense,
open
especially the
up a whole
starters,
lot.
decent shooting around. Like that maximizes everything. Especially if KPJ is going to continue to shoot like he has preseason. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold that up, but he's been pretty solid so far shooting threes in preseason. Like that's gonna change the way teams have to play you. I think but if you're not gonna use him that way, then it almost feels useless to have him on the court.
So this is your team, so I'm gonna ask you, what do you consider outside of like being in the lottery a good season for this team?
A good season, I don't really care about wins.
Oh yeah, I know
If
that.
if they win like more than 30, like, maybe even like 35 games, then that means Jalen was really good.
35?
No,
Jeez.
no, 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 no. But get what I'm saying. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying if they do, then that means Jalen took a jump. Like some young guys
Yeah,
took like a
crazy
huge
jump.
jump, and it's like, oh, we're way ahead of what we thought we were going to be. Like that might not be the ideal thing, especially with Vic and Scoot next year. But if they take like a huge jump, like if they're in the 30s win wise, just then I'm like, oh, these guys are actually not far from being just good what we got. You know, of
Yeah,
course, like time will tell. But I think if they make a jump like that, I think that means the guys we have actually improved a lot because the West is pretty good. You know what I'm
yes, it is
saying? Like
loaded.
just
It is
from
loaded.
one to
Like
11 in
12.
a
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, like all those teams are like fighting. They're gonna fight it out. So it just I don't necessarily expect them to win. I'm thinking in the lower 20s. I feel like
Okay, so
not
let
far.
me ask you this: you taking the over or under Vegas 23.5?
What's 23 and a half?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
Uh,
take. I'm taking the under. If I got to
who?
bet, I'm taking the
Oh, okay,
under.
you're going under. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
nah.
taking the under too. Yeah.
The West is so much better. Like there's less
Yeah,
wins now. Like
too
there's
loaded.
way less wins than it was last year.
I
Like
looked up. I looked up y'all schedule. Y'all might lose the first 10 of y'all first 11.
it's bad. But
It
like
could
I
get.
said, I'm not necessarily looking for. I'm not thinking about wins. I'm just thinking about how guys are looking like showing growth. You know what I'm saying? Like KPJ, can he be the kind of playmaker we need to like orchestrate the offense? Can him and Jalen do more off ball stuff and rather than just doing a lot of ISO, can we get better ball movement, get better action, things like that? Can How can we get Jabari involved? Um, Even as a pick and pop guy, he's not the best pick and roll guy. That's not really his strength. He's not like Christian Wood in that sense. Like Christian Wood could pop and Christian Wood could like roll and he's
Oh,
in throw alley. That's not really Jabari's strength. He's a perimeter oriented guy at this point in his career.
yeah.
He shoots a
He's
lot of
more
jump
catch and
shots.
shoot. catch and
He's
shoot.
shooting a lot of jump shots. One dribble, two dribble. He's shooting like off pick. I think if we could even run like some screen stuff for him to get him in the course to get him some good looks because he's so far. I mean, not his career, college. He's a good shooter. Like
He
that's
is.
a guy you want to spring open somehow. You know what I'm saying? I think stuff like that. Even some pick it. Can we try some pick and roll Jabari Shingun stuff? Just maybe get interesting matchups, switches, things of that nature. Like, what can we do to show growth rather than just we're just gonna run a pickup game
So
for like a couple hours every night?
ISO pick and roll KPJ all day. That'll get you in
Yeah,
the
like
lottery for sure though.
if we're not in the lottery, then that means the season went well.
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
If we're not top five, then that means we were probably pretty good. Like I don't know how this is not a top five. What I'm looking at talent wise, it's not a top. This is a top five lottery, roster that I'm
So
thinking.
riddle me this: what are you looking for in year two of Jalen?
Jalen can score. I think that's a thing. I think for him with young guys, especially young guys that can shoot, the biggest problem is not depending on your shot so much. Get to the rim. You know, I
Yeah.
uh, I just think like not settling for the 15-footer, not even settling for the three. Like he's a very athletic guy in this league. He's one of the top athletes, like obviously, but just getting to the rim more.
So you don't
Like
want to see half shots like it was last season. Half his shots were 3 pointers.
I don't want yeah, I mean no, that's fine, but I want to see g- three pointers. Three pointers is fine because he's a solid shooter. Like he projects as being a good shooter. Like from
Okay.
so far, but just getting to the rim more, drawing fouls, doing things like that,
I
and
think that'll
even
come with him strengthening his body. Year two,
that's
he understands more too.
that's gonna take a little minute. I mean, I know I seen the photos of him and everything. They're like, but Jalen's still a pretty lean guy.
Yeah,
He's
he's
still
definitely lean.
that's gonna take a season or two to like, okay, he's not Ant in that case to where like, oh, he's like 220 and like crazy like build and everything like that. That's not Jalen at
Oh,
this
I
point.
expect I expect what he has added to himself muscle wise.
I feel like a help. He's still a pretty light guy, but I think
Oh,
the help.
combined with his year two, he understands more.
Being a better. I mean, I know he said even in the summertime on the Bill Simmons podcast, just working on his playmaking. That's gonna that's gonna really change what type of player he is. Can he be the guy that you can give the ball and trust to make plays, or is he a bucket? Like there's different types of guys in this league that like, hey, I can give you the ball and you're gonna make the right play with the ball. Not necessarily always an assist, but always making the right pass.
See,
His scoring.
I'm expecting him to score well, and I expect his assist to increase too. His
I mean,
rebounds
it's
too.
like
For a guy
for me,
like that, he should average more
it's not even
rebounds.
it's not necessarily an assist thing. It's just the making the right pass, when to make the right pass. Because you might not always get those assists. It might be a swing assist to somebody else, but knowing when to pass, like those that type of playmaking, you just seeing the court better as more than just a scorer. Like I think that's what I want to see from Jalen in year two more than just the scoring. I think the scoring is gonna come. Like if the scoring never comes like at a good clip, then I would be surprised. But I think the other stuff, can he improve on that? 10%, 15% better as far as the playmaking ability, ball handling ability, and just attacking the rim, like getting fouled a little bit more, because that's only gonna increase his efficiency and for the team getting to the free throw line. But
Yeah,
I know who's gonna get to the free throw line though.
that
Tari get to the free throw line. Listen, man.
just him.
I haven't been this excited about a Rocket in a long time. Like a guy that I liked at LSU from like I don't know when the first time I even threw his name in the chat. It was pretty early. It was a while ago. It was way
Yeah,
before the draft.
I seen him play before you mentioned him, but when I
It was
saw his name, I
probably
was
like
like, yeah, I saw this guy.
it was like 2021 still, huh? It was
No, it's 22. It was early 22.
okay,
Yeah.
but I was all over because like, man, I saw him play like live, and I was like, who is this guy? Why does he look so much physical than everybody else? in college. It's just like that. That's just the thing that stood out to me.
His
Not
motor too.
no motor, the motor for sure, but just the physicality. Like even though he's not the biggest guy, he's really strong and he is really physical. And a lot of players aren't just ready to meet that kind of physicality like all the time. Like players play, but like you're not ready for a guy to really just kind of move you. And it's like he is everywhere, man. He's cutting, he's slashing, he's fast break, he's getting to the line, he's hitting those he's getting the paint like around the 8 foot, 10 foot area, getting those shots. He's hitting threes pretty solid, playing defense, of course. I'm he's even better than he's looking even better than I thought he would this early. Because I always thought he's an NBA player, even like a rookie. Like he can defend at an NBA level with his size and do that enough to get real minutes in NBA. But the scoring is man, he's the leading rookie scorer. He's scoring like 20 some points a game in the preseason.
I don't expect that in the
Coming,
regular season,
coming
but
off
it
the
does look
bench.
good.
Coming off the bench. He's getting like 10 rebounds a game. Like, what is this guy? Like, I'm almost like, hey, uh, I love EG, but I don't know, man. Just start
I was just
Tari.
about to ask you, what do you what
Even though you're kind of missing out on the shooting and spacing as much, that causes a problem. So I get it, but just like he's so good right now. He's the best. He's been the best rookie in the NBA right now. Like just for anybody. Like he's that been that good off the bench.
what do you expect y'all to do with EG?
I have no idea.
I
After
hope y'all
last year,
move him.
after last year, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I just have
I
no
thought he
idea.
was gone.
After the year before, like I have no idea. He's still on the team. Like every season, it's like, oh, EG's still here. Like all right, well, I guess
He's
I don't know.
outlasted everybody.
Bro, he's the last stand. He's the last standing Rocket. He's
That's
the
crazy.
last one standing. I don't know, man. Like at this point, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if like that he just wants to stay or he enjoys with the team or the team just feels like he's an important asset. Even like I can understand being an important asset, just being a veteran, a good veteran that can actually play. Not like a Udonis Haslam veteran, which is cool too.
Yeah,
But like
just
that
chilling.
actually can play, is still good, gets minutes. Like I could understand the importance of that with a team this young doing what they're trying to do. I could understand it. Like, what are we gonna get? Another pick? Like, how good is the pick gonna be from a good team? It's like it's not. It's cool, but it's not like we're. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
know where y'all should send him.
to
I
the
know y'all
Lakers.
should send him right there. Yep. We'll give y'all
Aren't
two
y'all
seconds.
where don't y'all tired of having like small perimeter players? Like what y'all
Also,
so small.
I would take Eric Gordon. We can figure out the rest later.
Y'all have no height at the perimeter as it is.
That's
Sorry,
fine with me.
you starting what none Westbrook Beverly like that's y'all guard rotation. Austin
I'm fine with
Reeves
that. Give me
6'4".
AG and
Like
we figure it out.
y'all have no size in the perimeter. It's
We don't.
terrible.
That's fine. That's fine.
And you gonna add 6'3" EG?
Who can shoot? Yes, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
You got none though. He look like he back.
I don't know yet. I gotta see more.
But no, just talking about the like back to the Rockets. It's just like no Tari, man. I can't wait to get a Tari Easton jersey.
What
I
are you
haven't been.
waiting on?
I want the white and green ones. I want those.
Ew.
The
Ew.
Seattle, I want the San Diego ones. Man, them jerseys is fly, man. Y'all tripping. I want
Ew.
one. I want that one. Or I want like a Tari Easton throwback, like the throwback Rockets jersey.
Throwback will be live. I need to get a throwback Jalen. That's the only one I will get.
Yeah, man. But like Tari, man, I don't even. I it's it's preseason, but man, he looks good. Like he looks like the best player on that team. like
That is
just
a lot.
like the best player on the team. Like, oh, who's like, why is he not playing more? Coming off the bench, getting 20 points, 10 rebounds every game. Like, what? Like, yeah, that's crazy to see.
I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna lock in on y'all this season.
Listen, what you expect from KPJ? You know, you asked me two questions. What you got for KPJ?
PJ, I actually expect him to show a little growth on the playmaker side. I don't know how good it'll be to as far as long term. I feel
Yeah,
like I feel like he's he'll take a step in the right direction. It just hopefully, well, I don't hope, but I know y'all hope it's in the right direction.
We can only hope.
Yeah, but yeah, I expect that. Plus his scoring. Like I
The
expected this
talent is,
last season.
the talent is there. That's not the problem
Definitely
with
not.
Kevin. It's just the decision making. He has playmaking ability, but it's the decision making is like
Yeah,
just
I expect him and Jalen to. I told Trey this last season, but it's more so this season that they both should average about 20 and around 3 and 4 or 5 assists each.
KPJ should average 20.
Yeah, I think they both should average 20. If they're both not averaging 20, something's up or close to it, like really really close to it.
I mean, really
You
close
got
to it. I know
Jalen's not there no more.
Jalen's gonna get 20.
Yeah, I expect that for sure.
I feel like Shingun and Jabari are gonna be like in that. They're gonna both be in that 13 to like 16
13,
area,
15.
like in that range.
Yeah, I
You know,
expect that too.
EG's gonna get like 14, 15, depending on how much he plays. So, you know, it's possible. It's possible they could both be around 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. As long as they cut down on the turnovers and, like you said, grow as decision makers, they'll be
It's
fine.
just definitely decision making and just knowing when to do, knowing when and what to do. I haven't really seen much of Ty Ty Washington in the preseason.
I haven't seen anything either.
I could understand. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to seeing him because I like the way he looked during the summer league, especially.
I think, yeah,
And I really like his game as a point guard and his shooting ability as well. Like, he's a good shooter. But you know, we'll see. Knicks is getting a lot of burn.
I was
I
about to
don't.
say that they look like they like Knicks.
Yeah, they like Knicks a lot. I think Knicks. I think Knicks is a good decision maker. He has a
Yeah,
little. He has better decision making point guard like abilities, just passing and not.
yeah, he seems
Uh,
way more natural with it.
yeah. It's just with him is I don't know. You think about defense, and you think about how he can score, things like that, and obviously, you know, there's nothing invested in him. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to franchises. Like you're gonna get as much opportunity as we invested in you. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
unless you just wow somebody. Yeah,
Unless you're just really good, and it's like, all right, we have to just play you, like, because you're
yeah,
too good. Like you're obviously better than everybody else, but until that point, you know, you're gonna get as big of a shot as as they invested in you, which they haven't really invested much at all in him. You know,
nah, got him from the
capital,
G League really.
yeah, capital wise.
Giving
So
him a
you know,
chance. Yeah,
it's all good, but. I don't know. And also with them, I just hope. I think we're gonna look a lot better defensively.
you
That's
think
gonna
so?
like. I think Tari and Jabari are gonna make a big difference from last year defensively. I'm not saying we're gonna be great defensively, but they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
those two guys are gonna make us look like a different team when they're out there. Like
I don't know. I feel like y'all so young. Defense just gonna come and go.
I think those guys are. I think but I'm just talking about more consistent than last year. Last year was terrible on defense. Like
Yeah,
we're not
it
gonna
was.
be just flat out terrible like that all the time on the court, with especially when those two guys on the court. Like there's not gonna be nothing for you. If Tate, if even like Tate, Tari, and Jabari on the court, that's a lot of defense. Like that's a different kind of team than whatever we had last year on the court.
Yeah, I already see them getting Toyota Center electric.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
like that. That's the hustle team right there. Like with those
exactly,
three guys, like yo, put those
exactly.
guys in the court and just let them go. Like it's gonna be
That
physical.
is.
It's gonna be like a lot of rebounds. It's gonna be some steals. It's gonna be a lot of that, and like that's the type of energy we need. Besides scoring, but we need that part of the game too. I feel like that's important.
The other part to come.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like we talked about a decent amount enough. Like that wrap it up. We'll get to maybe we can do this again before the season, right before the season starts or something.
Yeah, that'd
Maybe
be nice.
talk about like the first few games of the season will be like record wise and things like that. Maybe.
I'll definitely be back.
Yeah. But all right, let's we'll wrap it up right now.
Can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.
Hey, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and listen to us on DSPs everywhere.